On March 23rd, just 14 minutes before Trump unexpectedly posted about, quote, very good conversations on ending the war, traders suddenly bet $500 million on the price of oil, which, once Trump made his announcement, immediately dropped. It happened again on April 7th, and then again on April 21st, a surge in oil bets, then a Trump post, and then a huge shift in oil prices in just the space of minutes. It looks like insiders have been making out like bandits, using secret information about the war. Now,
14 minutes. That is how long before Donald Trump posted about ending the war that someone placed a $500 million bet on the price of oil. And the moment Trump's post went live, oil prices dropped exactly as that bet predicted. It happened again on April 7th and again on April 21st. Every single time, a massive surge in oil trading, then a Trump announcement, then oil prices moving in exactly the direction those bets needed them to move. Senator Elizabeth Warren walked into that hearing and asked Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth one question. Do you have any explanation for these perfectly timed trades other than insider trading? He did not have one. And then she pulled out his own financial records. Watch what happened next.
On March 23rd, just 14 minutes before Trump unexpectedly posted about, quote, very good conversations on ending the war, traders suddenly bet $500 million on the price of oil, which, once Trump made his announcement, immediately dropped. It happened again on April 7th, and then again on April 21st, a surge in oil bets, then a Trump post, and then a huge shift in oil prices in just the space of minutes. It looks like insiders have been making out like bandits, using secret information about the war. Now, one U.S. soldier has been charged, but that was for betting on capturing Maduro months ago. Not a single person has been charged in the many trades over the Middle East war. So, Secretary Hegseth, do you have any explanation for these perfectly timed spikes in trading activity other than insider trading?
Senator, all I can tell you is that everything we've done in our department, everything we've done with information, in working with the White House and across the interagency has been completely above board.
Well, so what does it mean? Do you have any other explanation other than insider trading? Do you have a story for why just minutes before there's an announcement, there's a surge in trading activity?
Senator, I'm more than focused on doing my job and ensuring we execute properly, which thankfully, under this administration, our troops have done incredible things in all these missions. My job in all of those moments is to make sure we're prepared. And that's part of the reason why we've been so successful in these raids, in these efforts, is that this joint force is prepared.
You're saying you're not paying any attention to this insider trading. Is that what you're telling me? That you've paid no attention to this? You haven't noticed it? You haven't done anything about it?
What I'm saying is we're focused on our mission of executing for the American people, and what happens in markets is not, in betting markets is not something we're involved in.
What happens in betting markets doesn't matter to you, even if the information may be coming from insiders in your office?
Senator, it's not something we're involved in at all. And of course, we take operational security at every level very seriously. In fact, no one's taken operational security more seriously than us. If you look at what it required to keep secret Midnight Hammer and Operation Maduro, the absolute resolve with Maduro, and the steps we've taken, so no one's been tighter about ensuring that operational security is ensured.
To deal with insider trading out of your office?
I mean, we would ensure at every level that inside information
is I take that as a no.
Properly safeguarded.
All right. Well, obviously you're not. I'm also concerned about recent reporting on your own financial dealings with regard to profiting from the war in Iran. The Financial Times reported that your broker tried to buy hundreds of shares in a BlackRock fund invested in defense companies just before the war began. The law clearly prohibits the Secretary of
That
Defense.
entire story is false, has been from
Mike,
the
let me
beginning,
finish
and
my
was made up out of whole cloth. And anybody that looks at it sees how it was
law-
worded from the beginning to make it look like I was involved in something I had nothing to do and never have. So any
law-
insinuation that I've ever profited, other than serving this nation, what I give, what you give, what others give, I'm not looking for money. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for profit. I don't do it for stocks. And that's part of the reason why I'm able to be effective in this job, because
Then
no
let
one
me
owns
ask
me.
my
No one owns
question,
this department. No one
Secretary
owns this
Hegseth.
president, and we
Let
can
me
execute for
ask
the
my
American people,
questions.
and we do.
The law clearly prohibits the Secretary of Defense from owning stock in the 10 biggest defense contractors. Other senators and I sent you a letter with detailed questions about this, and you have not given us a response. So I'd like to hear you say, did you, through your broker at Morgan Stanley or otherwise, seek to invest in any defense-related funds right before Trump started the Iran war?
I'll give it to you as a big, fat negative.
Then let me ask you a second question. Is your broker getting your personal sign-off on any investment in individual stocks?
Bigger, fatter negative.
He's not getting your sign-off before he makes investments in defense stocks? Can I refer you to your
I'm not
ethics
making investments,
agreement?
Senator.
I am asking, does he know that he has to get your sign-off before he does that?
Of course.
The
I
time
don't know what
of
you're
the
looking for, but you ain't
senator
going to
has
find it.
expired. Thank you. Thank you, Senator.
I would like to enter into the record the ethics agreement that the Secretary of Defense has signed, that he will sign off personally before his broker makes any attempt to buy defense stocks.
Is there objection?
Thank you.
Without objection, it will be admitted.
Senator Elizabeth Warren opened her exchange with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth with 3 dates and 3 trades that she said had no innocent explanation. March 23rd, 14 minutes before Donald Trump unexpectedly posted on social media about very good conversations on ending the war in the Middle East, someone placed a $500 million bet on the price of oil. The moment Trump's post went live, oil prices dropped. The bet paid off. April 7th, same pattern, a surge in oil trading activity. Then a Trump announcement. Then a massive shift in oil prices, moving in exactly the direction those trades needed. April 21st, again. Warren told Hegseth that it looked like insiders with access to classified military and diplomatic information had been using that information to make enormous profits in the markets. She pointed out that one United States soldier had already been charged for betting on the capture of Venezuelan President Maduro months earlier. But not a single person had been charged in connection with the far larger and far more frequent trades surrounding the Middle East war. She asked Hegseth directly, did he have any explanation for these perfectly timed spikes in trading activity other than insider trading? Hegseth said everything his department had done with information, working with the White House and across agencies, had been completely above board. Warren pressed. That was not an answer. Did he have any other explanation? Could he offer any story for why trading activity surged in the minutes before presidential announcements? Hegseth said he was focused on executing his mission and ensuring troops were prepared. He said the success of recent operations, like the Midnight Hammer strikes and Operation Maduro, demonstrated that operational security under his leadership had been airtight. Warren cut through it. Was he saying he had paid no attention to this insider trading pattern whatsoever, that he had not noticed it, had not done anything about it? Hegseth said what happens in betting markets was not something his department was involved in. Warren said, even if the information may be coming from insiders inside your own office? Hegseth said they were not involved and that operational security was taken more seriously under his leadership than anyone else's. Warren said, obviously you are not dealing with insider trading out of your office. Then she moved to Hegseth's own finances. The Financial Times had reported that Hegseth's broker at Morgan Stanley had attempted to purchase hundreds of shares in a BlackRock fund invested heavily in defense companies just before the Iran war began. Warren pointed out that the law explicitly prohibits the Secretary of Defense from owning stock in the 10 largest defense contractors. She and other senators had sent Hegseth a detailed letter of questions about this and received no response. Hegseth called the Financial Times story completely false. He said it had been made up from the beginning and worded deliberately to make it appear he was involved in something he had nothing to do with. He said he was not in this job for money, not for profit, not for stocks. He said nobody owned him and nobody owned the department. Warren kept going. She asked him directly, did he or his broker at Morgan Stanley seek to invest in any defense-related funds right before Trump started the Iran war? He called it a big fat negative. She asked whether his broker was aware that he was required to get Hegseth's personal sign-off before making any investment in individual stocks. He called it a bigger, fatter negative. Warren pushed further. Was his broker aware that he was required to get Hegseth's personal approval before attempting to buy defense stocks? Hegseth said of course, and told Warren she was not going to find what she was looking for. Then she asked the committee to enter into the record Hegseth's own signed ethics agreement, a document in which he personally committed to signing off before his broker made any attempt to purchase defense stocks. The document was admitted without objection. 3 dates, 3 perfectly timed trades worth hundreds of millions of dollars. A Secretary of Defense has said he was not paying attention to any of it. A Financial Times report he called completely fabricated. And a signed ethics agreement now sitting in the congressional record that will be measured against every investment his broker makes going forward. Senator Warren left the hearing without the answer she came for, but the trades are on the record, the timing is on the record, and the ethics agreement is now on the record too.